welcome back to my channel. All right, so in this video let's talk about the static variable or the static keyword. So in the last video we have understood that the encapsulation, data hiding, and the getter and setter and the access modifier as well. But in this video we will talk about the static variable, static keyword, static class, and the static method as well. So now what is the we will understand what is static keyword and why do we even need it. Okay, so in object oriented programming there is something known as static keyword. Okay, and we have static variable as well, and we have a static method as well, and they are mainly used for memory management and shared behavior. Okay, तो बेसिकली स्टैटिक अगर हम किसी भी कीवर्ड मेथड्स एंड क्लास को अगर हम स्टैटिक बनाते हैं तो ये मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट बहुत ज़्यादा एफिशिएंट होता है और बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है ये जावा के मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट करने के लिए. ओके, सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड द स्टैटिक कीवर्ड विथ एन एग्जांपल. ओके, सो व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू इज़ I'll create a class. Okay, so I have already created a class like static kt. Inside there I have created a main method, but I'll create one more class that will be like person. So let's create it class person. Okay, and inside this class I'll add some variable int age and string name. Okay, I'll create this class. This I was creating some inner classes, but let's create some outer class. Okay, person. I'll create person. Okay, and here I'll add is, and I'll add string name. Okay, so two variable I have added. So let's say this person has an age and this person also has a name. Okay, now we will create an object of this class. Okay, so now look very carefully. First let's create an object. I'll create the object here inside this main method because this will run. Okay, p1, I'll create like Shalu. Okay, and new person. Okay, and I'll create one more object like John. Let's take an example. Okay, equal to new person. Great. Now look very carefully. If I say hey Shalu, if I say hey Shalu, your age is 23. Okay, your age is, let's suppose, 22. Okay, so I'll add Shalu dot is equal to 22. Okay, and I'll add the age of John equal to 30. Okay, okay, so if I print Shalu age, then output will be 22, and if I print John age, then output will be 30. Okay, this clearly show. Let's print it first. So I'll write your Shalu dot is, and here I'll write John dot is. Okay, and let's print this. A modifier. Okay, this is something else. Set name. It was like this. Okay, actually there was an error inside this another packages, so that's why the classes did not run. Okay, okay, so here I have to run a static class. No, static kt. Okay, now you can see Shalu age is 22 and Zon age is 30. Okay, so this clearly show that every object has its own copy of instance variable. Okay, like Shalu has its own data and John has his own data. Okay, so now let's change just one thing. I'll make the is I'll make the variable is as a static. Okay, so let's go here and I'll make this static. Okay, okay, I have done it. I have done nothing else. I just made it static. Now again I say, hey Shalu, your age is 22, and then I say, hey John, your age is 30. Okay, so now if I print, let's print it first. So what value is coming for both? 30. Okay, okay, now if I print Shalu is, what do you think the output should be? It's printing 30. Okay, what you will think? It should be like 22, no? Shalu is would be like 22, but when I run the program the output is 30. Okay, if I print John is, here you can see I have printed the John is, the also the output is 30. Okay, so now let's do one more thing. If I say my age is 100, okay, shallow is 100. Now let's see, and again let's run this program again. Then you can see again it's 30. What is happening? Okay, so what just happened? The moment you use the static keyword, okay, one second, let's remove this and let's remove this one as well. Yes, now print again. 30 because it is overriding. Now I'll remove this. Then what value is coming? Previously it was 30, now age is coming, like shallow age is coming 100. Okay, and I'll, so both age is coming 100. So what is happening here? Why age is coming 100? Okay, John is should be like 30, no, but here John age is coming 100 also. Okay, so the moment you use the static keyword, that variable is not longer built to the object. Okay, instead it's bound to the class. So now there is only one age variable and it's shared among all the objects. Here we have created this object and here we have created another object. So what is happening? It's sharing the value among all objects. Okay, earlier Shalu had his own age, okay, and John had his own age, but now everyone is using the same age variable. Okay, like this age variable is using the Shallow is using the same variable and John is also using the same variable because of static keyword, because of static variable. We have made this variable as a static. Okay, we have made this is variable as a static. Okay, got it? So now one important rule is here. I'll discuss. Okay, so this is not the correct way to access a static variable. What we will do, um so here I'll not write shalu.age. I'll write a person.age. Okay, so let's write, because it's belong to class. When we are going to access the static variable, we are going to access the variable, then it's belong to class, it does not belong to object. Okay, so the correct way is like we will add the class name and then we will access the age. Okay, so this is the correct way and this is not the correct way. John.age, we are saying this is not the correct way. Okay, so because static member belong to the class, as I already told you, not the individual object. Okay, so if you will print this, let's print this. So here I have added this one is Shalu. Now you can see both value is coming 30. Okay, so let's suppose here we need to add person.age. Okay, so I'll write here, I'll remove this john.a's, and here shalu.a's I'll remove it. No, I will print this, and here I will give the person as a class name, and then I will print. Okay, so let's see what will happen. It's happening, it's showing as a 100. Okay, it's printing 100. So this is the correct way to use the class name. Okay, so we can use like this, because static member belong to the class, not to individual object. Okay, so now let's talk about some static method. So let me comment it. Now I already created this variable, and I'll create, I already told you in the previous class, like how we can create a getter setter. So I'll generate only the getter. Okay, because I need only getter for this is. So I've created this getter get is. Okay, now if I write, now can I write this dot is here, return is this inside the static method, inside the static getter method. Can we write like this dot is? No, right? Because this will give an error. Why? Because this always points to an object, and static methods are not associated with any object. It is associated with the class. So that's why this is giving error, because this is associated, this static keyword is associated with this class, but not with the object. But if you will write the static keyword inside this get method. Okay, so that's why this is giving error. You have to write here only return, not this. Okay, so it's clear now, I guess. Okay, so inside this static method you can only access static variable and other static method as well. Okay, so this is the point of stat to access the static method inside the static variable. Okay, and you can call a static method like this. Like if you want to call this, then here you need to go, and if you want to call, then here how you will call this, person dot get is, like this you can call. So I'll uncomment this, and you can access the static method like this. So it would print 100. Okay, so now let's see a real world use of static. Suppose I want to track how many users are creating in my system. Okay, so first what I'll do, I'll go inside the person class. Okay, as I already created this get ace method, so I'll write here I will take one more variable, that would be like static and int count equal to 0. Okay, now I'll create one more here I'll create one constructor here. Construction always start with the same name class, so I'll create a constructor, and inside the constructor I'll increase the count. Okay, so I'll see like how many members are there. So every time an object is created, the constructor run. Okay, let's suppose you have created an object here. Okay, shalu object you have created, and the john object you have created. So every time an object is created, another construction run always, and by default constructor run always whenever the compiler will run inside your java class. Okay, so let's see, like I'll give here p1, and I'll give here p2. Okay, this constructor name, and let's comment it out, and here I'll print now person dot count, because I already created. So here how we can access the constructor. See, I need to access the count, so you can access like this. You can see count is 2 right now. Okay, the output is 2. So if I create one more object, let's suppose, because I have created this one, okay, two object I have created. Let's suppose I need to create person p3 equal to new person. Then how many count will be there? It would be like 3. Okay, okay, you can see the 3 output is coming. Okay, the output becomes 3. So this works because count is static and shared among all the object. Okay, okay, so हम कुछ बात कर लेते हैं इंटरव्यू पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी. सो नाउ लेट्स गिव मी योर सम extra KT about the static keywords. So for static, variables are created only once when the class is loaded into the memory. Okay, because they are stored in the method area, not inside the object memory. And second is like static, we have some static block also, and this static block run only once. Okay, whenever you will run your code, then it will run only once, even before the constructor. Okay, so let's suppose you have created the constructor inside. So if you will write here the static block, then it will run always, it will run only once before the constructor class. Okay, so third is like static variable. Let's see. So let's suppose, let me create it one static variable. Okay, let's suppose static final double. Pi value will not change because 3.14 everyone knows. Okay, so once assigned, their value can never be changed. Okay, because we are assigning this value inside the static final. Okay, static final variable. And the fourth, like the static variables are often used in utility class. Like we will create a utility package, and there we will create a utility class, and there we can create like class math collection arrays. Like this we can create it. Like for example, inside the utility class we can see like math dot max. Okay, so this max will create inside the utility class, and we can get it. This is like class. We will not write like this because compiler will not take, we have to write like this here. Okay, okay, so what it will do, it will take which one is maximum number, it will return. Okay, so 20 is maximum, then it will return it. Okay, okay, so here no object is created here. Finally, remember this rule: static belongs to the class, non-static belong to the object. Okay, and static improve memory uses and code reusability and performance as well. Okay, so that's it for this video, and I hope this concept of the static keyword is clear to you now. So let's meet in the next video. Until then, bye bye and take care. Thank you so much.